Kurt Reedy's pick might have Pensauken's most famous highway side road sign. But step inside this retro steakhouse and you'll be transported back to the 70s. The 1370s, that is. We're going medieval at the pub.
So my name is Stevie Logothetis, and I am the general manager here at the pub. Basically, we're one of the longest standing steakhouses in the area since 1952. Well, not a lot has changed. They still serve on an open fire with charcoal. Our steaks, of course. Some are marinated, some are not. Very few customers leave here without taking leftovers. If you've never been here before, you can't understand what it's like until you've walked through the front doors. We have customers that have been coming here since it's opened. Their prom dates, their first dates, their engagements, baptisms, christenings, and they come back and they bring their children, their grandchildren. I like socializing, so of course a lot of our customers are repeat customers. You get to grow with them. You see new generations, you see babies being born, you see grandparents coming in with a newborn. I'm happy here.
The pub is just such an iconic part of New Jersey's landscape for over 70 years now. Why did you pick it?
All right, so like stepping back, I have a little story. So when myself and my wife closed on our home in 2019, one of the first things that our realtor said to us was like, you need to check out the pub. And we're like, oh, I think we saw the road sign on like when we drive right across the bridge. He's like, just make a date. You have to check it out. And that we did, and our lives are forever changed because of that decision. Because it was aesthetically one of the wildest restaurants I've ever been to, and one of the most unassuming spots in South Jersey.
Yeah, right off of Route 130, like where all those highways collide. The sign is so big, apparently, because so this place was built in the 1950s. And apparently, all along the side of the highway, there were other really tall signs. So when they built the pub, they just made their sign the tallest. But now that's the only sign that's there. It's just gigantic. Everyone that has lived in South Jersey has just been like, what is the pub? You had that experience, too.
Yeah, I grew up in West Deptford, and so anytime we were going to Cherry Hill, we would pass us and be like, what is the pub? I never saw the building, but I always saw the sign. And so when I got the email that I was going to be going there, I'm like, is that the same pub? And luckily it was, and I got to experience the majesty of it.
Right, because it's such an unassuming name. You're like, the pub. That pub could be anything. Why is this the pub? And what I love about the aesthetic of this place is that it feels like two different restaurants combined into one. You look to your right and you see like this cocktail bar that looks straight out of like Mad Men, like 60s, 70s style Mad Men. Like aesthetically, it has all of those elements. And then you walk into the main dining room and it's all hearth style, medieval times, giant flags.
Massive dining room.
Yes. Stuff like boar's heads and moose heads on the wall. And you're like, where am I
So
right now?
apparently a lot of the decor actually comes from Scotland. No one was Scottish. They just had all this stuff. So when you go, if you get an entree, you get access to the salad bar.
Yes, I love the salad bar. It is filled with every strange type of pasta you can imagine, multiple types of salad, every accoutrement that you would ever put on a salad, several types of bread. And one of the great things about the salad bar is that it comes with every like steak and seafood entree, but if you're getting some other sort of side dish, it's a $5 add-on, so it's 100% worth it.
You might as well. And of course, they're big on steak.
You definitely have like any type of steak. You know, I've had like the Texas Roadhouse steak there, chicken and fish. The primary entree I had was this golden brown butterfly shrimp stuffed with crab, which is the most excessive thing ever.
That sounds decadent.
It was very decadent, and I would have absolutely have just had the deep fried shrimp and been completely fine with that. But this was just like that hush puppy style thickness to the deep fried outside, and then you have like the big bites of shrimp, and then that's just like every bite of that is also encased in like a thick crab meat. So like just one of those pieces of shrimp and you're like, I need to calm down before I enjoy the rest of this meal.
Gwen, you also got some seafood, the jumbo shrimp,
Yeah, I got the baked jumbo shrimp and sea scallop dish. So it was pretty good. It really wasn't seasoned a lot. you know, I would say that they probably just seasoned it with salt and pepper, like basic salt, pepper, butter, and maybe some lemon. I think there was lemon on the side. The seafood, I didn't really feel like it was jumbo. It just seemed like regular size shrimp. And there, under my seafood was like a platform of bread. I guess it was kind of like to make it look bigger than it was. Not really sure, but it was good though. And then it also came with mashed potato and string beans, which apparently is the only side that they have. They said that's
Just
all they
string
had.
beans?
Yeah, just string beans. So I was like, oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, so they were good.
Sarah, you started your meal with some seafood as well. It was the charcoal hickory shrimp.
Yes, it was good. It was a little dry, like a little dry. But other than that, like the flavor was really good. You could tell it had just come off the grill. And it was something great that I could share. It was just enough for 2 people.
Yeah, so I guess like when they're cooking, they have these big kind of like fire places that they're cooking, and all of it's like charcoal, hickory charcoal that they're cooking everything on.
And we sat right by it, so it was kind of cool to look over and see.
Oh, you
see
got
the
dinner and a
things.
show.
We got dinner and a
Oh,
show.
that's fun.
It made the room really warm and cozy. Like after we ate, we sat there for a while and just talked and had coffee, and like we didn't want to leave.
In terms of the service, Gwen, what did you think of the service?
I had a great waitress. She paid attention to everything. She was able to answer all our questions. She explained everything to us, so I thought she was great.
We loved Gianna. She was a delight. We had a lot of questions about the menu. She had, well, this is what I had before the shift. This is what I'm going to have later. We were there about an hour before close. And she's like, I think the pastry chef has left, but let me go track him down to see what's there so we could get dessert. And we talked about marching bands for about 20 minutes. So that was also, I feel like I got the full personable experience of the pub.
The bar menu is also a big deal. It's lengthy. What did you order to drink, Kurt?
I ordered a pear martini. It's called the Pub Pear. It comes with absolute pear, prosecco, and elderflower. And it was very absolute forward, which I loved. I'm not going to complain about that. But one of the fun hacks of going to the pub is that if you order like a martini, you get a sidecar with whatever they make the drink with.
Oh.
So if whatever is in that final mixing class, it's going into your glass and it's going into a sidecar, and both are getting sent to you. So it's kind of like getting a bonus drink when you're there.
I got a 1920s old fashioned, which is great because I got the prime rib, so I felt like I was, back in the 1960s. Very fancy, great flavor. It had the maraschino cherry in. So yeah, it was a nice compliment to my meal.
Yeah. How was your steak?
It was.
Say it. It's all good.
It was simultaneously cold and dry.
No.
We did order it medium rare because we actually split it and got the mashed potatoes. And she was really nice, and she brought out an extra side of mashed potatoes. So not only did we each have a good portion, I went up to the salad bar and got some Caesar salad and took the extra bread and then took the leftovers to my dad.
And desserts now. I heard you reference some cheesecake earlier.
Oh, yes. We were going to bring it back and share it, but ended up eating the whole thing in the to-go cup while we were sitting at the table because the cheesecake was so good. It was just like really rich and creamy, and it's like everything you want in a cheesecake.
What was the crust like? Was it graham cracker?
Oh, I ate it very quickly, but it was a graham cracker crust, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
I had some kind of zucchini bread. I think it was actually, it was from the salad bar. We didn't know what it was. We thought it was banana bread. But then the waitress came and told us, she says, oh no, that's our zucchini bread. So that worked. By the time we ate that and we had like coffee or something, it was, it was enough because it was sweet.
So I got the Hawaiian cake, which was it was pretty good. It was a great meal ender. It was a nice big slice of cake with a little bit of coconut crumbles on the exterior, with a little bit of icing and like a pineapple sweetness to the actual cake texture itself.
Ooh, so the pineapple was in the sponge.
Yes, it was sort of. I don't know if it was like sort of like a flavoring or a pineapple juice, but it was kind of like mixed into the sponge. It was really good.
Kurt, this was your pick. Sum it up for us.
So if you are in South Jersey or in a close proximity to South Jersey, 100% I recommend going to the pub, just immersing yourself in a completely wild aesthetic, having a nice piece of steak, have a little salad bar, a very strong drink, and just enjoying the simple pleasures of like suburban South Jersey lifestyle.
Gwen, how would you sum up the pub?
I guess medieval meat and potatoes on the side of the highway.
And Sarah, bring it on home for us.
As a resident of South Jersey for so long, a checklist in my bucket list. Let's say I did that.
Dine like a king at the pub, located at 7600 Kane Avenue in Pennsauken. 856-665-6440. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $45.